Hi everyone, welcome to ZV NFT. It took me a while to get over FTX, SBF, WTF, and all that craziness. Every day there was a new ridiculous scenario that you wouldn't think would actually happen, but was happening. Anyway, the real impact has been rough in the NFT space, in the entire crypto blockchain space as a result. So I needed a minute to just wrap my head around everything that happened, the consequences, and the long effect it had on multiple other crypto organizations such as Genesis, such as Voyager, and the entire space pretty much. So it's looking bad, and NFTs have really just lost their value from like 97%. So just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it got worse. But we have stomachs of steel, right? And I'm just making sure I just plow ahead and try and understand where the opportunity is, where the silver lining is. But boy, that guy needs to be in jail. Seriously. I do hope that a better regulatory environment comes out of all of this. And I do hope that it means that people are going to buckle down and do this properly. The crypto space is also operating in a pretty rough macroeconomic environment as well. Right? I was listening to Alex Becker, who I was an on and off fan of when I was trying to understand gaming and altcoins. But he put it well. He said the entire crypto space is like a gambling casino in the basement. And the entire building is the macroeconomic environment and finance that we all operate in. And so if that goes down, the guys down at the casino in the basement are going to feel it pretty badly when the bricks come crashing. Anyway, never mind about the crashing, the fraud, the drama, the blood. Let's talk NFTs. And we acknowledge that there's a lot of pain for a lot of people. A lot of people have lost their lifetime's savings, money, trust, and all of that is going to be very difficult to get back. So that's where we are. And as I try and assess the smoldering ashes and the landscape that we're all trying to emerge from, these are some of the things that I'm reading, and these are some of the things I'm teaching myself. One guy I've been following ever since I started my NFT journey about a year ago is this dude, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. In fact, I even bought into his VFriends 2 collection, and I really have been following a lot of what he said in this space. He's been a huge advocate, a passionate proponent, and I really enjoy listening to him. Sometimes I feel like strangling him, but mostly I get a good value out of it and what he says, and I respect him. So I came across this story that I wanted to share with you because I think it's a good summary of where we are in the NFT space, and it strips away the hype. It puts that past craziness into perspective. And I think there's some valuable pieces here of what he says, okay? He's analyzing the space as it is right now. Yeah, we understand that 98, 99, 97, whatever, a bad percentage of value has dropped, all right? Keep calm and NFT on. Yeah, okay. So here are the headlines from this piece. He talks about how there's too much supply in the space, right? There are just too many projects, and there was going to be a supply and demand issue. He talks about how celebrities, influencers, sports leagues, big brands, everybody jumped into this space. And the demand just isn't able to keep up with that kind of supply. So he's comparing what's happening now to the dot-com bubble burst, and that the winners will ultimately remain standing, like Amazon and eBay being the giants that survived many years ago. He also talks about what I have seen in this space, short-term greed, and maybe I was a little greedy too, although, too late. So I was looking at things in the short term early on, thinking, oh, wow, quick money. But, I came in at the top and, you know the rest. So he does talk about that and how people were just wanting to make a quick buck. People were pumping their bags. Everyone's way too selfish, way too fast and lacking thoughtfulness. This is a marathon, but everyone is treating it like it's a micro sprint and a gold rush, and that's why most will lose. It's bad for humans, and a lot of people fell for scams and lost their money. So this is one of the big weaknesses he talks about in the NFT space, just the greed piece, right? And then just operators, and there are a lot of cons out there. Anyone can start an NFT project, right? So there are a huge number of people that don't know a lot about business, community building, culture, how you run a staff, how do you create demand, how do you bring value to your projects, and so you've got people creating these amazing NFT collections, but are unable to actually manage, execute, and build community. So you have to look at the operators in the space as well, is what he's saying, right? So he's also saying that in this space right now, you've basically got to be committed, right? He talks about his VFriends collections as something he's going to do for the rest of his life, right? And that gives you confidence that, he's here to stay. He's not making the quick bags. So he advises, don't be scared or discouraged. I've been kind of scared and discouraged, and I'm just trying to pull myself back in to try and understand what's going on. And, I do agree with him when he talks about you need to understand the micro picture about what's going on. And if you really want to be an operator in this space, you have to be able to execute for the community around you. Just a quick one here on where we're headed, 2023 and beyond. No surprise here, it's going to be bad, frosty situation, crypto winter, ice age, call it whatever you want, but it's going to be cold. He says it's going to stay the same. I don't see the macroeconomic landscape changing enough to think we are here for another run. But I agree with Gary here when he says the result of that is you're going to have serious people who really believe in the space and are going to build more meaningful projects. He's a big proponent for regulation. He thinks that that's really important. It's something that he's enthusiastic to see happen. He talks a little bit about advice for people in the NFT space right now, right? And he essentially says a number of things, but learn from the mistakes and the successes of the last 18 months and just look at other collections and understand what's happened, what's gone right for people, what's gone wrong for people, and just don't leave the space, even if you're not buying or selling, just educate yourself. And I think that's really the key for me and ZVNFT is I'm trying to educate myself on the current technology and where the attention in this space is in particular. And, and by that, I mean, don't follow the herd. I mean, just see what the general trends are and what's working and what's not. And then it's an opportunity after that to innovate. And finally, he says, I'm not too worried about NFTs. Yep, there's a volatile market. There's a lot of naysayers. He's focused on the utility of NFTs as collectibles and believes that they will be a permanent fixture in society, right? So this is a huge advocate, a guy that truly believes that this is the way forward. I believe it too. But, the jury's out. It's going to take a while to iterate, to refine, to actually make the technology, to be honest, like a little bit easier for everyone. You have to get the wallet, and then you have your key, and then you've got your key, the words, and then you've got to get a cold wallet, hot wallet. So it takes a while to absorb. There's a lot of friction, in my view. So it's not as easy to just, jump in and let's do NFTs. So the bottom line is that you need to educate yourself. Don't treat this as a fad, he says. I do agree with that. This is a long game, he says, and the score isn't out just yet. One of the things that I've been spending some time on is to try and figure out what's the best way for me to enter this space that really adds value and that also plays to my strengths and to my co-founder's strengths in an NFT collection. His name is Billy Bunton. And he has designed a really incredible collection of NFTs called the Luka Press Club. The idea that we're grappling with here is how do we move the needle in the NFT space on storytelling? right? Would people buy and spend money as minimal as we can make it to buy an NFT and participate in a storytelling community? And would we be able to create the infrastructure, the storytellers around the world that would allow anyone that has a Luka the ability to commission stories that would then go through our quality control, but essentially, a story that doesn't get told, that an NFT holder loves, gets told. So we're thinking about it. Would you be excited about this? Would you spend money buying an NFT to be part of this community? How important is storytelling to you? What would you like as a utility for us to develop in this space? So these are some of the things we're thinking about. How do we make it cool? How do we disrupt the mainstream media and play to our strengths, right? Our relationships around the world. We can be nimble, we can be experimental in this space. So let me share with you a little bit about what we've been doing the last few weeks with the Luka Press Club. So this is the Luka PC on Twitter, and we only have like 34 followers. So, come on, help me help myself, please. This is Luka, which is kind of like how I've been feeling over the last few weeks, but here I am. This is us working together, high-fiving each other for nothing, but just because we can. Here we are discussing the Luka Press Club rather earnestly here, and you can see he's really, really focused on all these ideas that Billy and I have. And then, how can you say no when you look at this face, right? So you see why it's fun to create the Luka Press Club, because this is the man himself, Luka, a King Charles Spaniel. Yes, King Charles. He's an English gentleman from Kent. Anyway, so we have been working on the different kinds of Lukas, a little promo video, an Austin Powers Luka, and just kind of creating 40 handmade Lukas. So none of these have been digitally generated. So we kind of decided to go this way for now and use it as a pilot to see even if conceptually this can work. I just wanted to show you this handsome face. This is Billy, the artist behind the Luka Press Club. And Billy has been, oopsie daisy, working on kind of an interesting spreadsheet so we understand all the different features that a normal Luka has, a special Luka, a rare Luka, and a rare plus plus Luka. So it's good for me to understand and to see how we are actually going to develop this collection. And then if there are only 40 handmade Lukas, right, well, what about everybody else? Right? And what's the one thing that a journalist has on them that gives them access to everywhere that you can flash, right? It's a press pass. So we developed the Luka Press Club pass, and this is a first pass at the pass, and we are working on it and trying to understand how to build utility here as well. So please comment below. Would love to get feedback from you to understand if you think holding a press pass or a Luka reporter would be something exciting for you. You connect with our community, with storytellers around the world, and we tell a story that you care about. So that's the Luka Press Club. Thank you so much for watching ZVNFT. Please smash that like button because then YouTube helps me out with the algorithms and more people get to see this and I feel motivated to do more. Anyway, really good spending a little bit of time with you. Thank you so much for watching and please comment. We'd really like to hear what you think about the Luka Press Club and if you think it has legs, or I should say if you think it has a wagging tail. Thanks a lot.